Well, damn. I make a video that barely took 15 minutes to make. I use one of my more lesser quality microphones, upload that, and then all of a sudden it gets about 10 times the amount of views than most of the other passion projects I have made on this channel. Not that I'm complaining though, but I am kind of bugged that that's how you play the algorithm game here on YouTube nowadays. In order to get attention, is to complain about something of current events and rant about, SJWs and shit. Of course, people would be drawn to that video, and I'm assuming most of those people aren't even subscribed to me. A couple of subs of mine did see the video and commented, of course, and to everyone who has commented on that Xseed video, whether you agree or disagree or not, I am grateful still. And this video I'm going to make is actually going to be a more off-the-cuff rambling about the current state of gaming, because, let's just say I got inspired by a particular comment. Oh, and I don't know how I'm going to edit this video, whether or not I'm going to put some stuff on the video, because I want this to be more of a radio thing. This might be a long video, so if you got like your Nintendo Switch or whatever, and you want to play me in the background, if you can multitask like that, then I encourage you to do so. Because like I said, I will be rambling for God knows how long. It may be pretty short, it may be too long. We'll know until I see how much I've recorded. But anyways, when I upload that video, of course I was going to get comments, people saying SJWs are at it again, SJWs are ruining gaming, Sony's gone full SJW, Sony is now Soiny, take the N out, you get the soy. All that stuff. And there was probably people thinking stuff like, hey, Darkscream, do you think video games are ruined? You think video games have been ruined forever? And I was expecting that comment to come after me, but it didn't happen on that video. It actually happened on a video I did 8 months ago, where I made a video response to this fucking skeptic I used to respect, but now I just think he's full of shit all the time now, Louis Laval. And I was trying to send the message to everyone else about, trying to be more positive. Because let's be honest, it's too fucking pessimistic right now. Everyone's a negative fucking Nancy, and it's pissing me off. I apologize for that outburst. I hope I didn't hurt your ears. See, this whole situation the past 6 years, well, it's driving me a little crazy. Anyways, I got this fun comment here named Devastator's Pissed 1. Interesting name. He says, sorry, but Lewis is right. There is no reason to be positive about the future of Western games, and Japanese games are starting to bow down to these people as well. No one in the industry seems to care about the loss of money either. Start looking for a new hobby because it's basically over. Okay. I'll start off by saying, if you're one of those people that are like-minded like him, and you think video games have already been ruined by SJWs, not ruining, have already been ruined. I'm not sorry to say this, but if you think that way, you're a fucking dumbass. Plain and simple, you're a dumbass. First off, even though video games have been treated as a form of art, they're still also a business. And they will give a shit if they lose money. They may not outright say it. They may not accept full responsibility. They may shift blame on something stupid like, I don't know, Twitch streamers or something. But guess what? They'll care. You don't think that 85% decrease in Battlefield 5 pre-orders is gonna make the business guys fucking want to jump out of a building? Or panic? Believe me, they care. And I even got some extra evidence about that shit. I'll post a link in the description below, but I got this from Niche Gamer. Apparently, there's a statement by Ubisoft COO Alf Condelius, and he's, well, sorry if I'm botching that name, but that's the best I can do. But he basically said that they try to be as politically neutral as possible in their games because they say it's bad for business. Here's what it says. Here's a part of the article. It's a balance because we cannot be openly political in our games. So, for example, in The Division, it's a dystopian future and there's not a lot of interpretations that's something that we see in the current society moving towards. But it's not. It's a fantasy. It's a universe and a world that we created for people to explore how to be a good person in a slowly decaying world. But people like to put politics into that, and we back away from those interpretations as much as we can because we don't want to take a stance in current politics. And now I'm not a Ubisoft supporter. I really don't care for their games. Never played The Division, never cared for the Assassin's Creed franchise. I think the last good Ubisoft game I played was South Park: The Stick of Truth on my Xbox 360. That being said, that is a smart stance to take, and we've already seen them do this with Far Cry 5. Remember the controversy around that game a year before it came out, about 6 months before it came out? How everyone thought this game was going to be like right-leaning or whatever. And then when the game came out, turns out that game was politically neutral, and some fucking leftist journalist from Polygon pissed and moaned about the game not taking an anti-Trump stance. And you know what happened? Far Cry 5 became the fastest selling game in the franchise. As for the whole start looking for a new hobby, well, that's still a very defeatist attitude, and it almost sounds like that's not a good stance to take on either. Now, I'm going to bring something up. I received a comment on Big Al's channel a couple months back when we were talking about Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, in that video, I can't remember what I said specifically, but I think I said something along the lines of, if the franchise pissed you off hard enough for too long, then you should probably move on, which almost sounds hypocritical than what I'm saying right now. And I got this comment. Now, unlike the other guy, I actually respect this dude's opinion. This comment from Muso Tensei states, "How is walking away solving anything? Eventually you have done that so many times that there is nothing left because everything these people touch turns into shit. Not acceptable." And you know what? That person has a point. See, what I should have said was find an alternative after I said leave Star Wars, because honestly, I've stopped giving a shit about Star Wars ever since I came to the epiphany that the prequels were bad. I was willing to give them the chance with the whole Disney era thing, but they haven't won me over, so I've still abandoned Star Wars. But I can find alternatives in the same, almost in the same medium. I've been getting into the Gundam franchise lately. That's a sci-fi series. And I do plan on making a review of a series out there for people who have been waiting for that. I'm sorry. But I decided to shift gears and review something else and related to Gundam. So that's why my review is coming out longer than it should. But enough about me plugging my own channel and shit. The thing is, quitting the entire medium of video games is kind of a hard stretch. And if one thing disappears or something is cut from a game, it sucks, but it's not the end of the world. Plus, there's that PC alternative that I mentioned earlier. And I'm more than just a fan of fucking Samurai Kagura. I like the Yakuza franchise. That's going great. In fact, they developed a Fist of the North Star game, which I streamed a week ago, and everyone else loved it. I loved the game. The game got better when I played it on my own spare time, when most of the minigames opened up. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 2, the remake. That looks fucking amazing. I'm not the biggest Devil May Cry fan. I've only played games 1 and 3, which according to my friend Art, he said those were the two in the best in the franchise. But I might actually be interested in Devil May Cry 5. It looks really good. I also am looking forward to Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out this week. Now, I do predict that this game will get some flack from leftist journos shitting on the game for whatever reason. But who cares? The game will sell, people will play it, and people will love it. They're not going to get that upset over it. And they shouldn't be. Fuck those SJW journalists. Seriously, fuck them. As you can tell, my position on the whole thing is basically somewhere in the center of the whole spectrum of political left and right. What the fuck is this? Oh, yeah. Big Al replied to this comment that I shared with him, and he says, "Enjoy dying alone, buddy." This take is staying in. It's staying in. I'm keeping it. But anyways, yeah, I try to stay as neutral as possible, which means everyone from both sides are going to come after me and try to lynch me and accuse me of being on the other side. I've seen this happen before with a lot of people's videos. Whenever they bring up something sane like organic diversity in video game narratives or something, and they get crosshairs on both ends, which is a fun position to be in, let me tell ya. But really, it's just me not giving a shit, not wanting to give a shit. I just want to play my goddamn games. You know, the Samurai Kagura thing was kind of a bummer, but there was a guy who commented on my video saying that, okay, yeah, that sucks, but I'm still going to get it for PS4. And you know what? I'm not going to lambast him for it. I respect that guy's decision. Who is that guy? Let me shout him out. Nero0222. He writes, "Honestly, as much as this sucks, at least the game is still coming compared to Omega Labyrinth. At least the diorama mode will be in it. At least the gameplay will still be intact. Now, if Sony removes certain gameplay elements, like levels and DLC like Nintendo did with Tokyo Mirage Sessions Fire Emblem, then we got a problem. But until that happens, I'm still going to get the PS4 version, regardless, along with the Steam version, since I plan to get both versions when they come out anyway. Plus, I am not going to miss the chance to get a physical special edition of a Samurai Kagura game. I love the art books and soundtracks it comes with." Alright, cool. Yeah, respect that decision. Hopefully you enjoy the game. Personally, originally I was actually going to rant about Samurai Kagura's DLC practices because they're cutting content from previous games and trying to re-release them as DLC. Like, I believe the cast from Estival Versus, from the Gessen School and the new Hibijo, I believe those characters are DLC, as well as the ones that were DLC in Estival Versus, like Kagura and Naraku. And I was contemplating doing a rant about that, but now that is like the least of my problems in regards to that franchise. But anyways, if this situation that happened is going to make me waver, if this is going to make me stop playing video games, not going to happen, buddy. I'll just find other video games to play if they tick me off. Eventually, some of them do. The Divinity Original Sin games have been getting a lot of praise from the old school BioWare fans because it reminds them of stuff like Baldur's Gate. Now that the new BioWare is kind of and I have no faith in Anthem, but it's not the end of the world for me. There's a whole bunch of other games I play that are either AAA titles, indies, something on the Switch. I'm not starving for video games, really. In fact, one of the things that pissed me off about this year and last year and probably next year is that there's too many good games coming out, and they all come out around the same goddamn time, which could result in some of the lesser known titles not making enough sales in order to keep the franchise going, like Valkyria Chronicles. We're finally getting a fourth one on the console, and yet it had to come out around the same time Spider-Man did. But yeah, I still bought it. I still bought Valkyria Chronicles supporting Sega. Because I love Sega. I love all their games that aren't Sonic the Hedgehog. Love me some Yakuza. Love me some Valkyria. If they made a Jet Set Radio 3, probably not going to happen. But if they did, you're damn right I would support that. In fact, there's been some studies going out that majority of Americans are just fucking exhausted between the fucking left and right's petty squabbling that we just don't care anymore. We just don't give a shit. Just kind of want to go by with our day and enjoy our lives and enjoy our hobbies. You know, after a fucking rough day at work, you think I want to come home and not pop open the PlayStation 4 or pull out my Switch and play a little bit of Splatoon to, unwind? Because I'm a gamer. I still am. I know that seems to be a word that they're trying to destroy, but they're not going to destroy it. What are they going to call themselves? Guys who like to play video games a lot? Yeah, that's a mouthful. No one's gonna fucking say that. And if you're one of those people who still think that video games have already been destroyed because of this, I hate to do the whole gatekeeping elitism thing, but I don't think you were much of a gamer to begin with if you're ready to quit that quickly. And you're still a dumbass. I gotta reiterate that one more time. Well, that's everything except for Dead or Alive 6, which I do plan to make a follow-up video on. I just don't know when, because the game is still updating. It's going to keep updating until February, but I do want to make a video before then. But to give you a sample of one of my thoughts so far, wow, the more they update it, the more right I was about the whole fucking controversy. But anyways, yeah, this video was basically kind of a rehash of something I said back in February, except this time I have video editing software, so I can talk as long as I want. Apparently, using the video editing software tools in Sony, they have like a 5-minute narration limit. Anyways, I'm going to keep doing this video because 8 months later, I'm still seeing the same tired old bullshit. This pessimistic, negative-ass attitude of people just wanting to quit video games because, like one little change and everything's for forever. I'm just gonna keep railing on you motherfuckers. And honestly, I don't give a shit if you're gonna play video games again anytime soon, because honestly, you're gone, nothing of value was lost. But I want to convince the more sane, open-minded people who are gamers not to throw in the towel just yet. And if I have to keep making videos like this over and over and over again until I go even more insane, I'll fucking do it. Okay? Well, it's not going to be my entire channel, don't worry about that. There's other content coming out, but occasionally I'll just keep making videos like this again and again. But I believe that's all I got for now. So, what are your thoughts on my video? Post the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you still enjoy video games regardless of all the bullshit from SJWs to really bad business practices? Do you do that voodoo that you do so well? Let me know. And this is Darkscream signing out. Hopefully I can get back to talking about anime again. See ya.